Hi everyone and welcome to Rainbow Reads. I'm your host, Fairy T, and this is Fancy and Fluffy, and we are here with you this week, and we are going to be reading a book called From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea. So again, the books that I read here on Rainbow Reads are part of the Rainbow Collection from the Milton Public Library, so feel free to check that out online. Again, this is a partnership between the Milton Public Library and Halton P-Flag chapter, of which I'm a co-lead. So again, that is the Halton Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. So if you want to check out our multiple social media pages, or check out even P-Flag Canada, which is the overarching group, and then there's about 50 chapters or so, if not more, across Canada. And as you know, they also exist in the United States. As I had mentioned, it was one of the resources from the Love is Love book at the back that I read several weeks ago. So this book, very interesting book. I thought it was very sweet the way that it was written. So this is a great book about changing maybe who you might be, trying on different hats, seeing maybe where you fit in. Very good. I'll read you the back. In the magical time between night and day, a child is born in a little blue house on a hill. And Mui Lang is not just any child, but one who can change into any shape they can imagine. The only problem is they can't decide what to be, a boy or a girl, a bird or a fish, a flower or a shooting star. But they find comfort in the loving arms of their mother, who always offers them the same loving refrain. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. Mulan faces many questions about who they are and who they may be. But one thing's for sure, no matter who this child becomes, their mother will love them just the same. From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea. Written by Kai Cheng Thom, illustrated by Wai Yant Lee and Kai Yun Chin. Here we go. Once upon a time, in a little blue house on a hill, on the edge of town, a baby was born. They were born when both the moon and sun were in the sky, so the baby couldn't decide what to be. Boy or girl, bird or fish, cat or rabbit, tree or star. So the baby looked a little like everything. They looked very strange. All the same, the baby's mother gave her child a bath and rocked them in her arms. Your name, she said, is Mui Lan. And she sang a song that her own mother had sung to her long ago. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here. I'll be near, standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die. And even though they still couldn't decide, the baby felt loved. Muilan grew up to be She grew up to be a strange magical child who was always changing. They grew feathers and wings to fly with bluebirds in the morning, scales and a tail to swim with fish in the afternoons, and fur and paws to play with puppies in the evenings. No matter how many things Muilan became, their mother always brought them back into their little blue house, gave them a bath, and tucked them into bed at the day's end. As the stars rose, she sang, whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. And Muilan felt loved. One day it was time for the child to go to school. They were so excited. They grew a tail of peacock feathers and a coat of tiger stripes. Have fun, said Muilan's mother. But when they got to school, the other students were either boys or girls. They had no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, not even any sparkles. No one invited Muilan to play. One little boy ran up to the child and asked, What are you supposed to be? Mui didn't know how to answer. When they came home, their mother asked them how they liked school. It's okay, said Mui. Did you make any friends? Not really, said Mui. That night, Mui mother tucked them into bed and sang, "You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here, I'll be near, standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die." And Mui felt loved, but also worried. The next day, they wore a turtle shell and porcupine spines. No one pulled or poked Mui but the other children still pointed and whispered. "Did you make any friends today?" asked their mother. "Not really," said Mui. That night, Mui mother tucked them into bed and sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mui felt loved, but they also felt sad. The next day, Mui wore no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, no shells, no spines, not even any sparkles. Mui was invited to play baseball with the boys. No one pointed, whispered, laughed, or stared. But when Mui joined the little girls playing hopscotch, "Boys don't play hopscotch," said a little girl. "Are you a boy or a girl anyway?" asked a little boy. "Didn't you have a shell the other day?" asked a little girl. "And feathers the day before?" "What are you supposed to be?" said several children at once. "I don't know!" Mui shouted, and galloped out of the playground on horses' hooves, swam through the stream with a fish's tail, and soared up the hill on an eagle's wings. "How was school?" asked Mui mother. "I wore feathers and stripes so that the other kids would think I was beautiful, but they thought I was weird. And then I wore a shell and spines so that no one would pull or poke me, but they wouldn't talk to me. And then I tried to be just like everyone else, but I haven't made any friends. I can't decide what to be. Why do I have to be just one thing?" "It isn't always easy to be different from everyone else," said their mother. "But you can only be who you are. What if the other children don't like who I am?" sniffled Mui. Their mother smiled sadly. "I don't know," she admitted, "but I do know this. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mui felt loved. That night, they slept a deep sleep. The next day, Mui wore feathers, fur, scales, leaves, and many sparkles that glittered like stars. For a moment, none of the other children spoke. Then a little girl said, "You can fly? That's so cool." "I like your sparkles," said a little boy. "I'm sorry I pulled your feathers," said the boy with red hair. "I was a little jealous of them." Mui asked, "Does anyone want to play with me?" They showed the other children how to gallop like horses, climb like monkeys, and swim like fish. It was fun to be many different things. And the child of fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and sparkles, who was neither boy nor girl, but many things and always changing, felt happy. In the little blue house on the hill on the edge of town, Mui mother smiled and sang the song her mother had sung to her once upon a time. "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea, you can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high. And I'll always be here, I'll be near, standing by. And you know that I'll love you till the day that I die. So whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. For you are my child, courageous and free. And there you have it, everybody. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. A wonderful little nugget that I read to you again, written by Kai Cheng Thom and illustrated by Wai-Yant Lee and Kai Chen. A fantastical, magical story about change and about being your authentic, true self. I hope, again, you've enjoyed today's reading on Rainbow Reads. I'm your host, Fairy T, and with Fancy and Fluffy, we're going to say goodbye for now, but hopefully you'll join us next time.